The way for me to look at artificial intelligence from a productivity and efficiency standpoint is to ensure you're using it as a co-pilot or an aid, as opposed to a one-size-fits-all replacement. I think from my perspective, the biggest challenge is actually data. And this comes in a combination of ways. So as you know, we're in an era of data, so to speak, whereby we have more data that we can actually consume being created every day. Now, this creates a wide an overarching issue for organizations, really, in terms of A, where are they getting that data from? B, do they have a data-driven culture that knows how to manage, curate, ensure that that quality of data is available across the organization? Should they be enriching their data with any third-party or external data sources? And also, what is that data being used for? So too far and too often we see organizations that use data analytics as more of a metrics or a KPI on a dashboard. So are we green or red against these metrics? Now, with the plethora of data available, also referred to as big data, it becomes even more apparent to organizations that they need to be looking for patterns, trends, actually getting deep into the data and analyzing the data, as opposed to just visualizing what they already know. So I would say at the moment that a lot of organizations, from the enterprise level down to the small business level, have problems through the whole data lifecycle. Now, whenever approaching data strategies, I always like to start with the business objectives. Now, a hypothetical scenario is that an organization over the next 2 years wants to increase their net profit by 2%, for example. Then we look at, okay, how can we utilize data projects in line with that objective? Could it be looking at performance margins for different departments, costs, or even just going out and looking at their customer base in more detail to understand how they can cross-sell and upsell existing products or products that should potentially be discontinued? And I really think it starts at that executive level. Aligning data-driven projects and data strategy with business objectives, and then bringing everybody into the data strategy from a department level, once again, to understand what projects should take priority, what projects come with a risk associated with them, and also the costs associated with these projects. Do they align in terms of the prioritization that we're trying to achieve with the data? Again, in today's day and age, I don't think any decisions should be made without taking data into consideration. Now, this differs by organization, but for myself, I like to ensure I have hard facts that have been curated and come from quality tested data available to me to be able to base my decisions on. Now, this means that our data has to go through data quality or DQ checks. It means that we have to agree across the organization the actual equation to generate the metrics that we're making decisions on, to ensure that aligns across different departments and across the whole business. And then we need to ensure that the data or the outcome to drive the decision is readily available across the organization. So that's how we utilize data to make data-driven decisions. Okay, where to begin? How long have you got? I'll try and keep it at a very high level. So the first is bias. So within AI and artificial intelligence, the different branches that underpin AI as an overarching technology, is that bias can slip in or creep in at different stages throughout the life cycle. The first being in actual model development, where biases can creep in depending on the data set used to train the artificial intelligence underlying model. Secondly, it can actually creep in from the developers who are developing the model as well. So is the team well balanced? Is there a cultural bias within the team? All of these can start to creep into the development of the model as well. And then also in those that are consuming the actual model as well, is there a bias that's creeping in? If we look at, for example, Gen AI, is there a bias that's creeping in from a prompting perspective? Okay. Outside of that, we have to look at legislations. Within this domain at the moment, we are far behind in terms of legislating what artificial intelligence should look like moving forward. This can be down to copyright, this can be down to actually utilizing it within our day-to-day roles, and also the type of data we're able to present to it from our organization as well. I don't think that we have a clear route forward for how we can leverage these type of technologies at the moment. Outside of that, we can also then start to look at governance and security, but I won't continue to bang on too much about this, but there's a plethora of ways that we need to start to look into managing this technology. Across the board, I think that, again, in today's day and age, we need to be embracing of the technology, even if it's just from a proof of concept perspective, understanding what type of tasks Gen AI and artificial intelligence at a whole can support your business with. From a productivity standpoint, the first point that comes to mind is automation, especially of manual tasks. AI is absolutely fantastic at using rule-based approaches and scaling that exponentially to enable an organization to focus more in terms of the tasks that require more of a human input. So that would be the starting point for me. The other way to look at it as well is as resource or knowledge banks within inside your organization. Can you leverage virtual agents, chatbots to actually store your internal knowledge and be able to present this back to your existing team members in a route that's friendly for them to be able to ask questions of the organization and get that information back? And the type of scenarios that we see our clients utilizing this for is really for onboarding of new employees, company procedures and policies, and being able to query those directly, and also repeatable actions. So this could be looking, for example, at marketing templates where logos are kept, etc. So the way for me to look at artificial intelligence from a productivity and efficiency standpoint is to ensure you're using it as a co-pilot or an aid, as opposed to a one-size-fits-all replacement. For me, it's all about connecting with the audience, really driving an engaging discussion, understanding key concepts, pain points, areas of focus for the underlying audience, and really starting to delve into those, and then discussing how different technologies that they can leverage can actually support them, or how different technologies may not be able to support them as well, and vice versa. And then it's really about driving engaging conversations with the audience to really hammer home a route forward during our discussions. I hope that they leave invigorated, ready to embrace new technologies and understand it in a less complex way. So it's really about breaking down complex topics into manageable bite-sized environments, and also plotting a route forward in terms of what this means to you, what it means to your organization, and how you can be empowered to now go away and drive business change or drive discussions around these type of technologies for your organization with one foot in the future, so to speak.